Tommy and his fellow friends are furious that a Croatian nun has been stabbed by a migrant who shouted Allah Akbar. A little innocent nun. Those brown rascals. Now, before you become rightfully outraged, it has been revealed that she did it to herself. I kid you not. She made up the entire story. Yes, she made up the fact that he was a Muslim, the fact that he was a migrant, the fact that he shouted Allah Akbar. There was no one there. She is supposed to be the most pious of the Christian women. I mean, a nun, for God's sake. And even she's trying to get a piece of the grifting pie. Because had it been successful, she would have made a decent wage out of being a survivor.
Their language is deception. It's literally impossible for them to not lie. You have to know this from the beginning. You have to know this each and every time you enter into any interaction with a Westerner. Every time they move their lips, they're lying. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but I'm serious. All they do is lie. And that isn't because they're always trying to lie, but it's because lies are all they have been told their whole lives. You know, not everyone who lies does so with the intention to deceive. They do it because they simply don't know the truth. So practically speaking, that comes out to be the same as lying. They're spreading falsehood, but they can't help but spread falsehood. You can only give from what you have, and what they have are lies. And you have to know that going in. The collective West, these people are deeply invested in opposing any accurate depiction of reality, because the reality that they live in, the reality of what they have done, the reality of their history, and the reality of their present is atrocious. It's inhuman. It's miserable. It's a disgraceful reality, and has been enabled by and is maintained by continuous, incessant, comprehensive lies and deception. I don't think you can even fathom the extent of this, but you can think of it in terms of the West not actually being a society or a so-called civilization, but a cult. It's a cult. And like a cult, they have their own weird paradigm. They have their own made-up story about themselves, about their past, and so on. They have their own bizarre, esoteric set of rationales and arguments that only make sense to each other. Because the only way that you can believe them in their rationales is if you are simply contained within the rigid confines of that cult mentality. And that's what they try to do to the rest of us. Impose this distorted, warped understanding that's nothing but misunderstanding, or rather anti-understanding of the world. They never call things what they are. They speak in euphemisms and opposites. Because again, if they told the truth, if they were even capable of telling the truth, then the whole mirage would dissolve. I mean, think about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. They seek to extinguish the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How? With their mouths. Means with their words, with the language they use, their linguistic framing of things, means their propaganda.